Welcome back to Financial Freedom for the Lazy Person. The question is, are you lazy enough to want to make work optional? This video is going to be a nice short video for those people who would never click on a 2-hour video. If you want your questions answered during the live stream every Tuesday at 4 p.m. Pacific, I do a video that lasts as long as the questions do. In this video, I'm going to talk about the bill you don't even know you need to have. This is one of the reasons why so many people work until they die. To me, that's not a good thing. For some people, that's what they want. But for the lazy person, making work optional and having time freedom and doing whatever you want every day is important enough for me to understand that this bill needs to exist. When it comes to bills, I think a lot of it comes down to how do you look at money? There are bills that we have that we pay no matter what. We prioritize them. And there's a reason why we prioritize them. The first grouping of these bills is things that most people think are essential. You need housing. So most people, not everybody, but most people pay their rent. A lot of people pay their mortgage. Some people lose their house, some people get evicted. But for most of us, that gets paid first. I think Dave Ramsey one time said, make sure you pay your car payment instead of your house payment, because you can make it to work in your car. You can't make it to work in your house. And remote work might be changing that. But you prioritize your car because, walking 12 hours a day to get to work and back doesn't sound like fun for most of us. You prioritize food because some people like me are fat kids and foods are important. But that comes first. Yes, Dine and Dash is a thing, but you have DoorDash, you have Amazon Prime, you have food delivered, you go shopping at whatever store matters the most to you, but you pay to get those food, to get those items. You're going to get them again. These are the things that we put first. So a lot of these bills, we don't even look at them as bills. We just call it the rent is due. The food needs to be paid for. Do you call it a food bill? I mean, you get the check at the restaurant, sure. But when you go shopping, is your shopping list a bill? But it's money that you spend. Then there's a second grouping of things that we pay, bills that we prioritize. We prioritize them so much that we don't want to miss a payment. So much so that we take us out of the equation. We say, what would it take to automate this, to make it to where my bad memory isn't the reason my Netflix gets turned off or my power gets shut down? Imagine a world where you don't have Wi-Fi. So your cable bill, your internet bill, your cell phone bill, Netflix, Spotify, Only Homes, whatever your bill is that is automated so that you're out of the equation. I've done this with most of mine. My memory is not great. So most of those bills that we prioritize, that we don't want to have the negative outcome from not paying, we don't even see the bill. This is why sometimes people will end up like 48% of Americans between the age of 55 and 65 with zero saved for retirement. This is why retirement seems out of reach. Is housing out of reach? You might have to have roommates. You might have to live with your parents longer. Some people end up homeless, sure. Is food optional for you? Is Netflix, Amazon Prime, HBO Max, Hulu, Peacock, all of these services that most people have are automated, are prioritized. Sometimes people will eliminate one or two to save money. But who do you know that has no streaming services, that drives a 20-year-old car, that doesn't take vacations? Because I get it. Most people have excuses as to why we don't prioritize this bill that you should have. A lot of people will say, my favorite sentence, I earned it. I deserve it. I think Michael Zuber had a better way to put it in like more eloquent words. But that entitlement to, I worked so hard for my money, I get to enjoy how I spend it. Then there's people who are waiting, the perpetual waiters. I'm waiting for prices to come down so I can buy my stocks on sale. I'm waiting for interest rates to come down so I can buy my real estate on sale. I'm waiting for rents to go up so I can cash flow on my deal. I'm waiting for the crash to happen. I'm waiting for a raise. Once I get a raise, sure, I'll buy some stocks. What are you waiting for? Instead of looking at life through a different lens, instead of my housing is a priority, my Netflix is a priority, my car is a priority, how about you are a priority? Right? Some people say it, pay yourself first, but that's so vague. I want you to create a bill you didn't know you needed to have, one that's due every month. Because the mistake people say, and I get this often, I usually ask people when they book a call or when they join the course and we have that first conversation and I'm getting an idea of their overall picture. We'll figure out, where do you live? What do you want to invest in? What's your portfolio look like now? What are your end goals? The typical questions that get the conversation started so you can dial in. One of those questions is, what is your current saving rate? I don't think I've ever got 5%, 10%, 20%, 25%, $1,000, $500. It is a list of, here's what I make, here's all of the bills that I have, here's what's left. So it's a vague number of $20 to $800 a month. For me, since I use a vague number in retirement, my saving rate is somewhere between $10,000 and $15,000 a month, depending on how much I spend that month. In build mode, that will make you work for decades longer than you need to. Your saving rate should be a number that you continuously increase. I ran a business for the last 10 years before I retired. And one of the things that I learned was that metric system, not the metric system, because there are countries that use the metric system, and then there's the country that's been to the moon. We'll put people on the moon now. What metric are you using to judge anything? Because once it's recorded, it can be improved. And if I ask somebody, how much can you save every month? And they say 0. And I say, okay, you don't think you could take out of your paycheck $1 and put it in your nightstand and not touch it? Just $1. Not take, one extra trip to the vending machine. Don't go inside the gas station when you fill up and get a snack. Whatever it is to find $1 to save. Because once you have $1 recorded as that's my saving rate, now you can improve it. What can you eliminate out of your budget to get you to increase that number? But more importantly, what can you do to increase your income and not add other things to your life, but increase what you're saving? Take that $1 to $5 to $10 to 10 to 15,000 a month, whatever it is, to make a number that you can improve. I want you to have a bill that is paid every month that you prioritize. More importantly than prioritizing, I want you to automate it. Some people only invest in their retirement accounts, and some people don't even. 40% of people who have access to a 401k don't even participate. So I can't say the best thing to do is automate your retirement account. But can you go to your HR department? Because your retirement accounts are making the government rich, your employer rich, and the people who manage your accounts rich. They don't tend to make you rich. They give you a little bit less pain in retirement when you're too old to enjoy it. But if you go to your HR department and say, when my paycheck comes in, I want you to set $10, $50, $100, whatever it is, automatically going into your saving account for your dollar cost averaging stock investing, for your crypto purchasing, for your real estate down payment fund, whatever asset class you've chosen that you are going to master, automate how the money goes there. Because one of the reasons why your taxes get paid out of your check is because it happens before you see it. Some people say, oh, I can't retire because I need healthcare. Well, that's because your healthcare premium is paid out of your paycheck before you see it. And people say, well, my employer pays it. No, your employer doesn't pay that. They reduced your compensation so they'd have a margin of income so that they can say, we're going to take that and put it towards your healthcare premiums. You automated your healthcare by working for it, working at a company for the premium to be covered. You automate your taxes by having them deducted from your paycheck before you pay it. Are you not important enough for you to automate the bill you didn't know you needed? Now, the reason I started saving is because I had this terrifying fear of ending up being a financial burden to my kids when I was too old to work. And not just because I wanted to mess their lives up, because that's what it does. I've got friends taking care of their parents now. But really what it does is I saw how my kids took care of pets, and I knew how that was going to go. I wanted enough money in retirement to have the money to hire a paid professional so that my retirement wasn't a Frankenstein nightmare. When you started this today, when you hit this video, you've made it to 10 minutes. Not everybody did. About 30% of the people make it to this far into the video. I want you to write down the bill next month. Hello, Futureland. How is the world? In October of 2025. What is the physical dollar amount? Put it in the comments if you're brave enough. Physical, the actual number, not a percentage, not a round, not a if then, but what bill are you setting for yourself today that can give you a life where you can travel anywhere you want, scuba, chase the good weather, chase the better scuba, not have an alarm clock, not have a boss, not have coworkers and office trauma. Work if you want to, but that time freedom that comes from, I took a decade where I had a bill every month, where it continuously grew as my income grew and I reduced my expenses, that money was designed for future me. I was paying the bill that buys me time freedom. I want you to do the same. Not everybody's going to. And if you want your questions answered during the live, I will be here at Tuesday, 4 p.m. Pacific. I will answer all of your questions, even the rude ones. This Tuesday, I'm going to talk about the specific reason, no kidding, this is why you get it at the end of the video. Tuesday, I'm going to explain why I do not get to the point fast in videos.